So with the civil trial at least looming, we know the answer was filed just the other day. What's the deal with the likelihood of bringing in third-party defendants? Where are we?
So as we indicated to the judge, that's our intention. As a matter of fact, it's more than our intention that we're pretty much putting the final polish on that. I don't want to give away the farm yet. We'll have that probably filed within the next, I would count it in days, if not hours. It's going to be very soon. There's a lot of very, very smart folks who have been putting a lot of their best efforts into it to make sure that document is highly polished. And then we're going to go in, and as we indicated to the court, we're going to go in and ask the judge to allow us to put those two things together at the same time. They're integrated in every single facet of those two documents. The lawsuit of the O'Keefes that Karen Reed is defending against is going to include every single bit of the same evidence and the same parties as the potential lawsuit of Karen Reed against the players that were mentioned in court the other day. So we believe very strongly that judicial efficiency, judicial economy, common sense all dictate, and the law dictates that these cases should be together and not separate. Otherwise, we're going to end up on dual tracks, and it's going to make for a very complex, complicated mess of litigation, and there's no need for it. So that's going to be the next moment in court.
So I guess I'll ask Michael Bryan's question. I know he has looming in that head of his. Commissioner Cox is in the news yesterday. You filed I heard
yesterday.
You sent him a little note.
A little note. Okay.
Yeah.
Possibility he could be added as what we call a defendant?
I've said, Linda, many times when I've been asked this question, and I've been somewhat coy and pretty close to the vest about who we intend to focus our attentions on. But I've said over and over, no one and nothing is off the table. And I will say that in answer to this question. Nothing is off the table. It is a hell of a revelation that we just found out. We, as the communal we, right, the royal we, all of us, have just found out concerning Michael Cox. Very, very troubling information about his candor to the public, candor to his constituents, candor to his own police force, candor to the people that he's supposed to serve. And that troubling information needs to be brought to the attention of those to whom he reports. And so that's why I pinned the letter that I did.
And just for those who may not know what that letter was about, it had to do with former officer Dever, never say Dever, and what interaction the commissioner had with her or did not have with her prior to her testimony. Just do the right thing, which of course I'm upset that he stole my tagline. But did he talk to her? Did he not talk to her? And I think you described it in the letter as he's been caught in a lie, and not a small lie.
Correct.
About his contact with her prior to her testimony. I've never used the words Karen Reed in a sentence. I mean, he went so over the top to deny any connection that when you did catch him, it's just blatant.
Right. That's exactly right. It's the chutzpah that's so galling. Like, just say no comment. If you feel like you're about to step on the third rail and get electrocuted, just say no. I know he wasn't expecting the question. You could tell by his reaction. I think it may have been David Bieniek or from Channel 5. Somebody asked a very pointed question. What do you think about this allegation that came out in court? At least get your ducks in a row. That's the first note for a potential politician or somebody in that position. But nope, in Boston, nope, nobody can touch me. I'm going to say exactly what I want to say, and no one, especially you people, to his constituents, are going to question me about it. Well, guess what? There are some questions, and there are some people out there who are going to ask those questions, and we're asking them, and we're asking Michel.
I'm just going to put number 11 under my defendants. I'm trying to keep a list as if I were you. Right.
Yeah, the arrogance is outrageous.
That's right. That's exactly the right word for it, Michael. It's just complete abject arrogance. And you have to do, look, if you're going to hold that position, it's a lauded position, a storied position, the head of the Boston Police Department. Are you kidding me? That is a storied position. Be better and do better. Just tell the truth. Show some fealty, show some commitment to your community members and some fealty to the truth. And if you don't, someone just might call you out on it.
Well, like Officer, don't call me Devers, Dover, Dubé. I don't know, but it almost didn't matter. And it sounds to me like now we know where she got her testimony from, at least a minute. And again, I'm not asking you for comment. I'm just telling you, as a member of the sitting public here, who at 6 o'clock at night has to do a show every night, that's how I felt. I thought it was an outrageous moment in court from her, and everyone else saying, oh, you know, trying to make the defense appear like they were causing her to commit perjury was also outrageous. Well, guess what, people? You got caught, you know.
And were you surprised at all by that testimony and her demeanor, Alan? Because I've never seen anything so horrible in my life.
No, I'd love to be able to say, oh, no, I expected that to come. You know, absolutely no way did I expect that. I had no idea that this young lady, this woman would comport herself the way that she did on the witness stand. It was, I mean, you could see, but from our interaction, that I was sort of taken, I was back on my heels a bit. I didn't expect that she was going to be incredibly friendly. I didn't think that there was going to be a friendliness, a friendly tone, because she didn't want to be there. She didn't want to testify, but I thought she'd at least tell the truth. I mean, I've got the receipts. I'm staring at a report that has her words in it, written by FBI agents who took an interview. And I was somewhat gobsmacked, the same that everybody else was. And I thought, well, okay, if you want a sword fight, you've pulled out your best weapon. Let's go.
Yeah. And then she mentions FBI after the Judge Canoni was like, you can't mention that agency here. They don't exist. There's
the organization.
Yes. Some organization. Right. Yeah, organization. Right.
Okay. One more question on her. Just because I got to get your take on this. Do you think she came up with that memory issue, or it was given to her?
It was so outrageously stupid, quite frankly. I'm looking for a better word, for a more educated word. It was just dumb to try to say that you have you're sitting on a witness stand as a professional witness. That's what you do for a living. You're a professional witness. You serve the community, you serve the public, you solve crimes, you catch the bad guys, supposedly, and then you come to court and you testify professionally. They're taught how to testify. And as a professional witness, the best she could come up with is, I suffer from false memories. What? So, Linda, your look, that's exactly the look. I wish I had been able to do that. But I'm standing with a camera in my face. I've got to act. I've got to comport myself with some sort of.
Right. I can do this. You couldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, wait a minute. Did I just hear you correctly? You suffer from false memories. That's your excuse. So no, I was not expecting that, Michael.
Wow. And then of course you nailed her by saying, that's your reputation, right? Your job is to testify in these cases. And of course, everybody at that point knew. Missy, can you pull up the video of me saying that? No, everybody knew that she's done. This girl is done. She will not be a cop. She may be a target security guard, but she's done. And sure enough, she's done. So,
yeah.